These are 4 cheap espresso setups that almost nobody recommends, and every one of them makes coffee that shames machines costing 5 times as much. By the end, you'll know which of these hidden gold mines fits you, and why the coffee world quietly swears by them, while the mainstream keeps pushing you toward that $500 price tag. Quick note before we start. All prices here are accurate at the time of recording, and may vary by the time you're watching or willing to buy, so treat every number as a ballpark, not a promise. There's a whole world of manual and stovetop gear under about $160 that makes real espresso strength coffee, with no pump, no boiler, and no electronics at all. And here's what ties all of them together. On these setups, the device is cheap, but the real money goes into the grinder, because that's where coffee quality actually lives. Keep that in mind, because it changes everything about how you spend. Let's start with the cheapest gold mine of them all, and it's one your mother or grandmother might have owned. The first setup is the Bialetti Mocha Express, and it's a 90-year-old icon hiding, virtually in plain sight. This is the little octagonal stovetop pot, and its design has barely changed since Alfonso Bialetti invented it in 1933. Over 300 million of these have sold worldwide, and you'll find one in roughly 90% of Italian households. That's a cultural institution right there. It usually costs somewhere between $50 and $99 depending on the size, and is often under $60. Now, I'll be straight with you. This doesn't make true 9-bar espresso. It uses steam pressure to make an espresso strength coffee. But for the price, nothing else gets you a rich, concentrated shot this reliably. One small catch. The classic aluminum version needs a gas or electric hob, so if you've got an induction stove, you'll want the stainless steel model, Bialetti Venus, instead. It's the cheapest real entry into espresso-style coffee that exists, and that's exactly why it's a gold mine. It retails for $35 to $55 US. Now, if you want something a bit more modern with a cult following of its own, the second setup is famous for a reason most people don't know. The second setup is the AeroPress, and it went from a toy company to a world championship. Here's a fun story that surprises people. The AeroPress was invented by Alan Adler, and his company was best known for the Aerobi, that flying disc you've thrown at all those barbecues. From a sports toy background came one of the most beloved coffee makers on earth. It uses pressure to brew a highly concentrated coffee that reviewers describe as comparable to espresso, and it does filter coffee and cold brew too. This thing earned a following so devoted, it has its own World AeroPress Championship, and there's even a documentary about it called The AeroPress Movie. The brand says it's sold in 70 countries, with more than 75,000 5-star reviews. Now, to be honest with you again, this makes an espresso-style concentrate, not a true pressurized shot, so a purist will be fast to correct you. But for a few dollars, from as low as $40 to $50, and a 30-second cleanup, it punches so far above its weight, it's almost unfair. If portability is what you're after though, the third setup takes this idea and shrinks it into your pocket. The third setup is the Wakako Nanopresso, and it's the portable machine that embarrasses its price tag. This is a little hand pump espresso maker you hold in your palm, and its patented pumping system is rated up to 18 bars of pressure. That's more than most countertop machines advertise, coming from a device that fits in a bag. It's been seen on sale for as little as 44 to 52 pounds, which is roughly $59 to $70 respectively, though that swings by region and season, so check your local prices. Much like the previous machines we talked about, this one uses a pressurized system out of the box, which makes it incredibly forgiving, meaning it will pull a decent shot with crema even if your grind size isn't perfect, or if you're using pre-ground coffee. Reviewers scored it a 9 out of 10 and called the espresso quality truly excellent for the size. The trade-offs are simple. It makes a small shot, there's no built-in heater so you bring your own hot water, and you'll need to manually pump the piston several times yourself. But as a cheap, take-anywhere-with-you gold mine, very little can compete with it. And if you're ready to step up from portable into a proper little lever machine, the fourth setup is the smartest budget path to real espresso there is. The fourth setup is the Flare NeoFlex, and this is where cheap begins making genuine espresso. This is a manual lever machine, and unlike the Mocha Pot and the AeroPress, this one makes true espresso, pressure and all, using nothing but your own arm. Priced with the pressure gauge included, it runs around $119 direct from Flare. There's no preheating ritual. It has an integrated pressure gauge so you can see what you're doing, and it ships with 2 brewing options, both the flow control, which is the pressurized portafilter for absolute beginners, and the bottomless 2-in-1 unpressurized portafilter for when users get a proper grinder and want to learn to dial in real shots. So this way, a beginner isn't thrown in the deep end. Reviews like Coffeedant's deep dive on the NeoFlex gave it an 8 out of 10 and called it the smartest budget path to real espresso. The honest trade-offs: the frame is polymer rather than metal, the shots are on the smaller side, and it needs an espresso-capable grinder. But for a bit over $100, pulling a real lever shot at home is a remarkable thing. Now here's the part that ties every one of these Goldmines together, and it's the piece most people skip. On all of these setups, I encourage that the grinder isn't optional. It's where your money should actually go. A cheap brewer with a great grinder beats an expensive brewer with a bad one every time. The good news is, the grinders are Goldmines too. The Kingrinder K6 often sells for under $100, and reviewers say it redefined affordable home espresso. The Timemore C2 drops below $50 on sale. And if you want to spend a little more, the Esresso J Ultra sits around $199 with lightning-fast, ultra-fine adjustments. Pair any of these with any setup above, and you've built something special for the price of one mediocre machine.